Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, I will be showing you how to analyze and visualize the FDA data using Python. My previous video, I have actually cleaned the data. You can check it through the videos on my channel. Now in this particular video, I will be continuing that particular project, the FDA data, and I'll be analyzing and visualizing the data using Python. So let's get started. Now I will come to my browser here. Of course, you see that my Jupyter Notebook is currently running. So I'll simply come to my browser and then I'll click. When I'll come to new. I want a new Python file. So I'll simply import the libraries that I'm going to be using for this particular project. So I'll import pandas as PD. I'll import Seaborn as SNS. So Seaborn is actually a visualization tool that is made up of that is built on Matplotib. So I import it as SNS. I will also import Matplotib itself as .pyplot as a PLT. So Matplotib is a visualization library in Python that produces very unique images, and then you have the plotly.express. So the plotly.express contains functions that can actually create entire figures at once. So it is usually denoted as a px. So, and one thing is that it uses a graph.object internally, and then it now returns the same graph.object. So that is what the plotly.express does. Is used to create, common visuals. As we go through the project, you will see the use of px and go. So I'll simply come here and I'll run. Okay, so it has successfully loaded. Now I want to import the data itself. come to this place. I'll check for the data set, which is FDA clean data 2. Then I'll clear rename, copy everything, and then I'll paste. I'll simply run this. Okay, since it has been run, let me see how the data looks like. Okay, so this is how the data looks like. You can see it. So it has actually been cleaned. Okay, so now if you look at this particular data, you can see that there are quite a number of columns, and the records are quite much. Let me see the df.df.34. Okay, so you can see that there are over 20,756, and then 17 columns. So that is quite a number. Now, the first thing we want to ask ourselves is, first thing I want to ask as a data analyst is, what is the status of the food case? What is the status, the current status of the food case? So I want to know how many food products, how many food cases have been completed, how many have been terminated, and how many are ongoing. So I'll open a new cell. So the question 1. What is the status of the food case? So we want to know. I'll change this to a markdown, or let me change it to heading. Now to do that, I want to use the plt function, plt dot figure, open brackets. I'll give it a figure size of, let's say, I want the row to be 14 and then the column to be 5. And then title should be status of food cases. And then if you see this place, you discover that the column is status. So I'm going to call out the column here. I want it to produce a value count. And then after producing the value count, you now sort the values. And then it will plot. So I need the plotting to be a bar, but let it it should be a column. No, it should actually be a column graph. That is why it is bar H. Then color should be blue. So let's see around this. Wow. So you can see the status of the food case, and you can see that food cases that are terminated are over 20,000 of them, and then ongoing is less than 2005, and then completed is very low. Now the next question is to be asked is, what is the status of these food cases? What is the status of these food cases among the countries? So how many? So we have countries here. So we want to find out. First of all, before we find out that, let's check the unique columns in the countries. The unique columns in the country. So unique country. We want to find out the unique columns that are there. That's unique. Okay, so you can see that there are quite a number: United States, Canada, Ireland, Chile, down to Egypt. So these are the countries that are covered in this particular data set. So now, to be able to know it, I'm going to first of all isolate these countries, and then after isolating the country, then I will now plot the graph. So I will do that. Now isolating the country, so I'll say country status equals df. Okay, I'll simply bring this in. So what am I doing? I am trying to bring out this column and assign it to a variable called country status. Then I run. Okay, so it has actually been assigned. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to take account. I want to take account of the same of this country status. So taking account, and I'll now say country status 2 equals country status dot value counts. And then I want to see what the country status looks like. Again. Okay, so you can see we are taking account of all the number of countries based on the number of countries based on the number of entries. Now we have United States, which is having more than 22,000 records, and then Canada is the is the second on the row based on descending order. So you can see that. Now the next thing is we want to plot. The data. So now plotting the data, I'll use plt dot fix size. So I want to color the size. Surplus, please. Fix size equals. So I need the column the row to be 12 and then the column to be 6. Then I'll close this. So actually, I cannot be able to plot. That is, I cannot, when if I decide to plot United States against the rest, you discover that the rest will become very negligible. So I want to plot for only United States. I want to plot for only United States. So now to do that, I'll say country underscore status 2. So I need it to give me country with United States. Then you should plot the kind of graph you should give me is a bar. And then the title to say status of food cases in the US. Let me run this. Okay, numpy that has no object dot plot. Okay. I guess I have to check from here country status to call DF. Okay, so that means I'm supposed to put in the status. I'm supposed to put in the status. I do not. So I'll put in the status. Then I'll cover this up. And I'll run again. Okay, good. So this is it. So now you can see that in the United States, a little higher than 21,000 records of the food cases have been terminated, and then 1,000 are ongoing. And these are the numbers that are actually completed in the United States. Canada terminated, all of them are all terminated. Israel, it's ongoing. Canada, the food case is also ongoing, which is 42 food cases. Taiwan, France, like that. So now I'll now call out. So I want to plot the country status and the country that is United States. That is what I want to plot. So I'll run this. Okay, good. So this is it. So you can see here that this is the status of the food cases in the United States. Now, the next thing that I want to do is to actually find out how are the food cases classified. How are they classified? So this is question 1. Then this should be just a minute, please. This should be question 2. Okay. Question 3. So I want to find out how are the food cases classified. Okay. Now, when we talk about food cases being classified, let's check out the column, I mean the data again. Now, classification. So there are basically, I think, three classification here, but I will still check classification. So how were the food cases classified when the food cases was actually brought to the attention of the FDA? So it is the responsibility of the FDA to classify food based on the danger level, how dangerous the food is. So let's see how many, let's see the count. I'll run this first. No, 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 sorry, I'm supposed to, I'll change this to edit. And I'll run. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is I want to find out the unique columns, the number of unique columns actually, not just. Okay, so you can see that there are just three. So now I'm going to start visualizing. Now to visualize it, I'm going to use the plt dot subplots again, and then I need the feed size to be equal to maybe 12, 6, and then I will assign it to a new variable called classification equals df classification count the number of value and then sort the value. And then apart from that too, I want the classification to plot it with the color green. So let's run this lesson. Okay, so you can see class 3, the class 3 food, this is it, and then class 1, and then class 2. So these are based on the danger level. So the most dangerous level is class 3, while the more dangerous level is class 2, and then the least dangerous level is class 1. So I want to give you the title, so I'll say title is plt title. I need the title to be classification of food. This is, I'll run again. Okay, so we have set it as food cases. Now, the next thing that I want to do, okay, I want to also give it an X label and also a Y label. Now, to give it an X label, I'll come, I'll say plt.x label. Now, I want the food cases to be on the X label. And then I want the number of cases to be on the while level. Number one again. Okay, so you can see it's number of cases, and then we have the food cases. Now, the next thing we want to see is we want to see who are the top 10 firms having the cases with high quantities of their products with the FDA. Who are the top 10 firms? Now, if you come to the data here, you see that these are the recalling firms, the companies that produce the products and the products that are being recalled. Now, which of these firms have products that the product quantity is very high? I don't know if you understand the question. So that is what I want to visualize next. Remember, we are also analyzing and visualizing at the same time. So now the next thing, the thing we want to do is we'll group the recalling firm by the sum of the product quantities. So I'll write the question 3 should be who are the top 10 firms having cases with the highest product quantities, having cases with the highest product quantities. Being recalled. Okay, so it's a question. Now I'll change this to an heading, to the heading. Now how do like I told you, group the recalling firm by the product quantity. Now in grouping, I'll assign it to a new column, recalling to a new variable, please. Recalling firm equals recalling VF. Recalling firm. Okay, I'll use the group by function. df.group by. As index should be false. When I close, I want it to aggregate the product quantities. Product quantity 2 by sum. So this is the column of the product quantity. So I want to aggregate the values here by their sum. Then I'll run. Okay, so it has done. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to sort the value. I want to sort the value. Now I'm sorting the value. I'll say record firm equals recording and let's sort basket values. So I want to sort it based on the product quantities, product quantity, so and then ascending is false. Then I want it to also reset index. Now call out the variable. So it sorts the value based on this, and then it should be descending, and then it should reset the index. I'll run this. Okay, so as you can see, these are the recalling firms: CRF, Frozen Food, LLC. The total product quantity is, these are the value. I think this should be more than 27 million. The products are that is the amount or is the size of the quantities that are being recalled. Now, the next thing I want to do is I actually want to collect the top 10 rows. So collecting the top 10 records. So I'll say top 10 records equals recording dot end. So I need 10. So I'll run this. Okay, it has gone now to visualize. Now visualizing data, I'll say I'll call in the figure equals px. Can you say now px? I need a bar chart, and then I need the top 10 top 10 so the y-axis should be equal to the product quantity. So what I need on the product quantity is, and what I need on the y-axis is the product quantity. So, and then on the x-axis I need the recording frame. And then the title, I need it to be equal to dot and or should I say recording frame with highest. Cases of products. Okay, nothing came forth. Let me see. PLT instead of PLT. I'm supposed to use fig. So let me see. I'll run again. Okay, so you can see recalling firm with highest cases, and so this is what it is. Now when you over it, you see recalling firm, you see the product quantity. So that is one of the beauty of the plotly.express that we imported as px. So the next visualization I want to do is to find out how were the cases reported initially. How were the cases reported initially? Now to do that, I want to go to the data again. Now you discover that in this place you have initial firm notification. Okay, the means of reporting it initially. Okay, it was a voluntary. Some companies voluntarily reported the cases, and then some it was mandated by the FDA for them to do it. So I'm going to be working with this particular column to find out how those cases were reported initially. Now coming now, please ask question 4. How were cases reported initially? So this is a question, then I'll put this as a heading. Then I run. Okay, so now I want to see first of all the unique values in that voluntary mandated that's unique. Okay, so you can see 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there are just 3 unique values in the column. So because they are unique, so because the values are the unique values are, let me say, few in number, it will be good for me to use a pie chart to visualize it. Now to visualize it, now I have to assign the column to a new variable. Now assigning it to a new variable, I will say vol init equals df. Okay, I'll just drag this and then I'll drop. Okay, and then after dropping I'll run. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is I want to convert it to a list. Convert the variable to a list. Now converting it to a list, I'll call this list to be vol init list, which is equal to list open bracket vol init, then you close the bracket, then you run. Okay, so since you have run, now I want to take the individual count. Take individual count of the unique values. Now in taking them, you will discover that you have voluntary firm initiated, no record, and the FDA mandated. Now I'll call this voluntary. Instead of, I guess I'll just have to be typing some of it. I mean, dragging and dropping some of this. Okay, drop. So I'll make this small because it must not look like the initial data, initial must not look like the code, the value. So you have vol init list dot count. And I wanted to count the values that are voluntary firm initiated. Okay, and then the next one is no record. No record. Because in Python there's no space when you are actually you working with variable. Now vol init list dot count. So I wanted to count the records that are actually empty. And the next, let me say FDA mandated. Okay. Equals. So I will copy this, Ctrl C, and paste this Ctrl V, and then I'll load this, and then I'll put FDA mandated. So I need to label it. So I wanted to have the labeling of voluntary, no record, FDA mandated. Values should be voluntary, values should be voluntary. Yes. So the values that I'm talking about is there are these variables that are here. So they are the ones. Then I will now put the figure equals px color the function pi. Then I equals the vol, which is the init list. Inputs lists. values in the graph to be equals to the values that I have actually called out here, and then I want the names to be equal to the labels, and then the title to be equal to method of reporting cases. O equals 0.5. And I use fig function. That is the, so you have the vol init list. This is the list we are using for the visualization, and then the values should be these values that I gave out here, and then the names should be these labels that are here. Okay, so can you see that? So this is a very beautiful so you can see FDM and detail. So no record, the data with no record are so minute as it is. Let's see FDM and detail. See, they are so minute, 0.00264, and then the highest. So the companies that willingly or voluntarily reported the cases, they were very much, which is they were more than 98% of the total company records that are there. So that is for that. That is for that. Now the next question that we want to ask ourselves is, how were the food companies initially notified? How were they notified? Now, to know how they were notified, you have to go back to the data again. Now, you can see their initial firm notification. So 2 or more of the, and then emails like that. Now, to know more about that, I have to put this as question 5. Question 5. How were the food firms initially notified? Our changes to heading. Okay, now to be able to do that, I'm going to use a strip plot to run it. Now, first of all, I want to check the number of unique values in there. So this is initial frame notification. I'll copy this, Ctrl C. Okay, that's unique. Okay, can you see that? So we have 2 or more of the following. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So they are quite a number. But let me check if I'm correct so that I will not be mistaken at all. Now you have n. Let's run this. Oh, they are 9. I was counting 14. So now, since we now know that they are 9, the next thing, the thing I want to do is to sort, is to assign the values to a variable. I'm assigning to a variable. I'll call this init frame notes. So this is equal to df. Bring this in. And then you should count the values for me. In addition, we sort the values. Now let's take a look at the data. Okay, so it has sorted the value in ascending order. That is the default way, unless you specify. You can say ascending equals false, then it will now. So you can see that no record of notification, fax, visit, order, and that's and all that. So you can see, so 2 or more of the following. That means there were some companies that were emailed concerning the product, and in addition to being emailed, they were maybe they were sent letters. So you see 2 or more. So many. So that record is actually more than 8,000 of it. So we want to visualize this. Now if we want to use a strip plot to visualize this, strip plot is actually a plot that works, although it works with categorical numbers, but categorical values, and those values are actually against numerical values. So because of that, we have to create a new data frame. Now this particular variable does not have a column name. There are no column names for this, and then there's none for this. So because of that, we cannot directly work with this on strip plotting. So I'm going to create a new data frame. Now to do that, I'll write creating a new data frame. Now I'll call this init frame notification equals PD. Can you see where PD comes in our data frame? Okay, I want to give the label of this to be initial frame notification. So now we know record of notification when I put this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. this one must have been the first. This is okay. Yes, release. Telephone. Email. Data. Okay. I now need the counts. So the count this is 7. And 67. Okay, I run this. Let me see. I guess I have to put a comma here. Okay, that's it. So let me see the data sets. Okay, good. So you can see this is how the data set is. Now we'll now visualize data. Visualize data as a week AX equals ELT then subplots the field size equals 16.10. DPI equals 80. sns.striplot. So striplot is actually a function in SNS, as in a Cbon. So I want the init. I'll bring this. So on the x-axis, I want it to be init frame notification, and then the initial notification. Then on the y-axis, I still want the same init frame notification, and then the prompt. I want it to be jittered by 0.15. So being jittered means that is in terms of the overlapping color, in terms of the overlapping color length. Okay, it should not be too big. It should not be too big for it, so that's why I put it in that format. AX equals AX, and then the size of it should be, let's say, 30, and the line width should be 0.5. Now the title PLT. So you can see that you can use PLT, which is a Matplotib function, in the same line of code with Cbon. So they both work hand in hand. And PLT.title. Okay, I want to give the title initial frame notification. And then I need the font size to equal 22. So you can see this is the straight plots. This is how it looks like. This is the title, initial frame notification, and then they are all represented by color. This is count, and then this is the initial. Okay, so this is where we are going to actually call it a day on this visualization project. In addition to this particular visualization project, I will also visualize the same data using Power BI. So please do well to be on the lookout for a video on that particular project. But before I go, I want to save this data, these visuals, so that I can use it for the documentation, of this project. So to do that, I'll go to the first visual. Okay, this is the first, and then I'll right click the mouse, and then you see where it is said save image as. I will save image as. Then I'll select let's say a folder. Okay, let's use this folder, and I'll select the status of cases. So I'm saving it as a PNG image. Okay, and then I'll save, so you can see. So if I want to view the image, I'll simply let me see. I can just come to this folder here, and then I'll go to my documents. Okay, so you can see status of cases, and I double click it. Okay, so you can see terminated. Please don't mind the app. This is the colors are all dark. That is the y axis and the x axis. The values are dark. So terminated, ongoing, completed. So that is how that is. Then let's come here again. We'll save this status of food cases in the US. Save image as. Okay, I'll remove this. Now I'll copy the status of food cases. I'll say in the US. Then I'll save. That also goes. I'll come, right click, save. So this is classification of food cases. Class food cases. Then I'll save. I'll come to this. In this particular one, I can save as. Okay. In this one, in this particular image, when you come here, you can see something like a camera. So you see download plot as a PNG. You click on it. Okay, so it has been saved. So you click on show in folder, so that you know the folder where it went to. Okay, you can see new plot 1. So you simply cut it and then paste it in the original folder as others. Okay, come back, and then same thing with this also. You download as. Okay, 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 cuts, and then you paste. Okay, I guess I have to rename it. I have to rename it with let me say pie charts. So I'll copy, I'll cut, and then I'll paste. Okay. See any other one? Okay, this is the final one. Save images. So this one is on street plots. save. That is how it is being done. So I'm going to send this I'm going to send this line of code to my GitHub page, and I'll paste my GitHub link to this video description so that you can check out the visuals. I really want to appreciate everyone for sticking with me to this very moment. Um, I'm going to work on this particular data um, till the documentation, So where I'll be documenting it using MX Word. So please be on the lookout for that too. I want to encourage you to please share this video, and if you enjoy it, please do well to like and subscribe. Yes, subscribe. I cannot emphasize it, you know, less. Please subscribe so that when I make new videos, you can see it as quick as possible. You'll be notified of it. So at this junction, I want to say thank you for staying, and do have a great learning ahead. Thank you, and bye for now.